Okay. Yeah. All right. So welcome to the Together End Racism, TERT, and the Woman Rise campaign. We have a few workshops planned for today. The first one is going to be on advocacy, community organizing, and engagement with Dr. Hasan, myself, and Disheng. And the second one is going to be led by Irvi Khan, and it's going to be on story writing for advocacy. So we're just going to start off with a land acknowledgement. BCS acknowledges that we are on the traditional territories of the Haudenosaunee, Huron-Wendat, Anishinaabe, and the Mississaugas of the Credit River. Today, this land remains home to many Indigenous people across Turtle Island, whose culture, knowledge, and worldviews we deeply respect and honor. As treaty people under Treaty 13 and the Williams Treaties, we recognize our role as settlers, many of us arriving by choice or by force, particularly descendants of those impacted by the transatlantic slave trades. We are grateful to live, create, and work on this land. BCS is committed to advancing truth and reconciliation by fostering relationships with Indigenous people based on respect, trust, and cooperation. All right, so we're just going to start off by introducing the Together End Racism in Toronto campaign, also known as TERT. So the purpose of Together End Racism is to address racism and discrimination in Canadian society. It is inspired by calls for systemic change in education and beyond that. The objective is to support a community in confronting racism while fostering productive discussions on multiculturalism, diversity, and religious discrimination. TERT has tons of activities, and this includes leadership training like this one, community education events like this one, anti-racism campaigns, and we also have town halls, and we do a lot of media outreach. The timeline, it began in March 2024, and it will conclude March of 2025. We're targeting 60 youth community animators. They are diverse in ages from ages 13 to 29. They come from diverse communities, and we're hoping to reach 20,000 people with the help of media campaigns. We also focus on some specific communities, and that includes racialized, Black and Indigenous, and LGBTQS2 spirited communities in Toronto. I'm going to pass on to Irvi.
And I will introduce the Woman Rise. So today's, I guess, workshop is mainly geared towards the TERT youth who are here, but we realize that Woman Rise and TERT have a lot of overlap. So I'll just introduce the Woman Rise campaign, and the Woman Rise participants here got an introduction to the TERT. So I'll just give a little bit of Woman Rise, I guess, overview to the TERT youth who are present here. So we started in July 2024 this year, and this will continue for 2 years. So we will conclude this program in June 2026. So this is a program funded by Women Gender Equality Canada. And our purpose is to empower racialized and immigrant women in the Toronto East areas to overcome employment and economic security barriers. And we focus on leadership and support by engaging 10 feminist leaders and community members, so 200 women all together through consultations, plannings, and evaluation. And our key activities, similar to TERT, also include story sharing for mutual support, strategizing against discrimination, and collaborating with employers and policymakers for systemic change. And one thing that's important in the Women Rise campaign is the amplification through social media. A lot of BCS programs do that, like TERT, by highlighting participant stories, promoting solidarity and resilience. So, next slide, please. So the overlap between TERT and Women Rise is that both projects are centered on empowering marginalized groups, with TERT targeting racialized Black, Indigenous, and LGBTQ2S youth, and Women Rise supporting racialized and immigrant women. And we are addressing systemic barriers by aiming to tackle systemic discrimination, whether it be racism in education via TERT, or employment and economic barriers via Women Rise. So community engagement, again, is very important for both of these projects. So each project emphasizes fostering community through consultations, events, and story sharing to build solidarity and drive change, which is what we'll do here today, because we are focusing on community organizing and story writing for advocacy. And advocacy and leadership, this is your leadership development opportunity. And so with TERT training community members, and Women Rise engaging feminist leaders to guide participants, and media and storytelling. This is sort of what the focus of our workshop here is today.
It's just like you have to share it. Okay. Share. So, yeah, stop sharing and share it. Yes. Okay. All right, so we're going to jump into the first segment, which is on advocacy, community organizing, and community engagement. We have a quote from Gandhi down here, which is be the change that you want.
And just to give you heads up with for Khan that how our two campaigns are overlapping and advocacy is something very important for us to know. And so far, I understand that you are doing advocacy in your daily life in many ways. And today we are going to define something that how as community we can do advocacy, and we are doing some advocacy. So we are going to define it and connect with our work. And in this regard, Hansa will be a key facilitator. Hansa, over to you.
Thanks. All right, so before we get started, we're just going to discuss the agenda. Even though we're talking about advocacy, specifically talk about people-centered advocacy, what that is, some examples of community-driven advocacy, stepping into advocacy, and your role and skills. Thank you. All right, so what is advocacy? Before we get started, we just want to hear from you. Have you ever advocated for any social cause? And if you have, please give an example. Okay.
I have advocated was for a social cause, and it was for a Palestine protest. And I've been to a couple of my life, and it's just a lot of people advocating for the
Stopping war.
stopping the war and fighting for the genocide that's happening there.
Excellent. Why don't you clap? And great participation. Excellent.
Does anyone else want to say an example?
Sure. Papa is there doing advocacy a lot.
We did some advocacy on HIV prevention among young people. So it is actually, HIV was not that familiar or known to people back like 10, 15 years back in our communities. So I advocate that through community organizations and in the non-profit I was working with. And make people know that how it impacts young people and how we can help as a community together to prevent it. Thank you.
Excellent.
Thank you.
And I would also, Hansa, it would be great to have everyone's name.
Mhm.
And we have two projects, campaign, how you were connected with one of the campaigns. So just say your name and maybe you can share your affiliation with TART or Women Rise.
Okay, I'll get started since I have the mic. But my name is Hansa, and I'm in both TERT and Women Rise, and yeah, really excited for you guys to be a part of the workshop. And I'm just gonna pass the mic down now.
Hi, my name is Rainer Gaming. I am also a member of STAR and BCS. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Nadir Ph.D. I am member of TAR and BCS Bangladesh Canadian Organization. Thank you. Hi, my name is Nishar Bhattacharya, and I'm a member of TAR, and I'm happy to get organized with this workshop. My name is Ryan, I'm a TAR.
Hi everyone, my name is Krishna. So I was in Resilient Youth for Change project. And then I'm really interested in that project. So then I wanted to participate in Women Rights Project as well. So yeah, thank you.
Hi, my name is Rebecca Sundana. I'm participating in Women's Rights Workshops. And today I'm here and really looking forward to learn.
Hi, my name is Soraya Yasmin.
Thank you. Hi, my name is Saliha and I'm here with Richard. My name is Aaliyah and I'm here for tourism.
My name is Sonali. I'm also here for chair.
Hi, my name is Masroor. I'm just here for the in the community.
Hi, my name is Ali from Sanim. I'm a new member of BCS. Thank you. Hi, my name is Ramya and I'm a women rights leader.
Hi, my name is James and I'm Arthur.
Okay, I can get it. Yeah.
Hi, my name is Rafia Mahbub. I'm from Toronto Bangla School. I am a, like I just come from for this visit. My daughter is doing here, Nuranawa. She's not here today because the weather. She's at home. Oh, thank you so much. Hello, my name is Saidatu Mahbub. I am visit here. Thank you.
Hi, this is Farzan Akhtar. I'm field placement student. Thank you.
Hey, my name is Naeem. I'm also a third and I'm a placement student BTS.
Hi, my name is Shang Chen. I'm also a new member of the church, and I'm glad that I have the time to showcase my abilities and my skills and how I can help the community. Thank you.
All right, thank you guys all for introducing yourselves. And Irby, sorry.
Hi, everyone. My name is Irby. I am a program associate for both the Together and Racism program and the Women Rights program. So today I will be heading a workshop on story writing for advocacy. And for the new TERT members, I don't think I properly introduced myself the last time. So I this is my community organizing work, but my main job is, or my day job, I like to say, is I work as a journalist. I work with the Toronto Star and the Globe and Mail. So this is where I come to, organize and connect with community and to understand stories better. Thank you.
Hi everyone, welcome to this workshop. My name is Hasan. I'm an educator and working with our amazing team here.
All right, awesome. So thank you guys for answering also what is advocacy. Did anyone want to add on a social cause that they've advocated for?
James, anything you advocated for so far?
Yeah, I can share a little bit.
Yeah, excellent.
I guess back then when BLM was a thing, I advocated online a lot. I share like posts and other people's experiences for that.
Excellent. Thank you.
It's great.
And
Yeah.
I'm a part-time photographer too for this event. If you had.
Thank you for sharing, James. I think that was a good example because we always think of advocacy as something really big, but it can be small little acts like that as well. We also have a video that we want to play as well.
Yeah.
Stop resharing. Stop sharing and then reshare.
Okay, I uploaded the video already, so.
Oh, I think we have online colleagues. They should introduce themselves as well.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Okay, if you guys are online, you can introduce yourselves. You can just raise your hand and unmute.
One by one. Go ahead.
Hello
Real-
everyone. My name is Hafsa Akhtar and I'm a student from Centennial College. Nice to meet everyone. Sorry I couldn't join the meeting. I have some personal issues, so I couldn't join. I apologize for that.
Go ahead, Eva.
Hi, my name is Ifat. I'm a part of TERT and Women Rise, and I'm excited for what's to come.
Anyone else?
Yes, Kayla.
Yes. Oh, it's in the chat also. So we have,
Tawana.
yes, and Pam is here. Amazing, from UFT.
Excellent. And Isra, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, my name is Isra. I'm also part of TERT and Women Rise, and I'm really excited for what's to come as well.
Amanda.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Hi, sorry I couldn't be here today. I actually came out with down with a fever last night, so I wanted to come in person, but I hope I can come next time. It's nice to meet everyone. online. I'm a recent graduate of TMU, and Dr. Hasan was my professor. And I'm a member of BCS and Women Rise, and I'm also a recent graduate. I did my master's of social work at TMU, so I just started working, and it's been amazing. And I'm really excited for this workshop and looking forward to the session. So thank you for having me.
Also, KL in the chat says that she's studying at U of T. Nice to meet you. And Shadman unfortunately ripped their winter jacket, so they can't make it. But we're glad you're joining us online. Rita also, she goes to TMU and majors in economics, and she's in Women Rise as well, and TURT. Jennifer Nema, she's a member of TURT and she's excited to be here. Shreya is a very active member of TURT. She is a recent graduate at TMU and she's part of both TURT and Women Rise. She's really excited and looking forward to learning more about this during the workshop.
I can see Ramanapa.
Tamana says, "Hi guys, it's constructions. I can't turn on my mic, but she's Tamana, is with the currently social work student at TMU, and Diva is her sister that's also at TMU in social work. Nice. Hamna Sahar is studying at U of T as well. All right.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I think that's our online people. Thanks for
I think
sharing.
you can skip the video and
Okay.
you can see that in studio time. Yes, so you can welcome once again and can start from here again.
All right. So as he said before, we're really excited for the advocacy workshop. We went over the agenda, but just briefly, we're going to discuss advocacy, specifically people-centered advocacy, some examples of what community-driven advocacy looks like, stepping into advocacy, and your roles and skills. Right. So, what is advocacy? Advocacy is about doing something to support, recommend, or implement actions linked to an idea or a cause that you care about. So for our TURT people, it's going to be linked to racism, and for women's rights, it's going to be about gender equality. When we advocate for an issue, we're holding those in charge accountable to ensure that our rights are protected and upheld. We are not asking for favors. Advocacy uses our collective voice to defend and protect our rights to support different initiatives and causes. Your advocacy can bring in changes in policies, programs, actions, behaviors, institutions, and investments. So your advocacy can do a lot.
Yes. In this regard, after this definition, anyone would like to share your advocacy work so far you are doing? We have listened from our three colleagues so far. Anyone would like to share, considering this definition? Anyone connect to your work? Are you yes, Marishna?
So as I mentioned, like in the previous project, I have also like did advocacy about like racism and discrimination, gender equality, and those kind of thing. And also I'm right now a settlement worker. So every day in my day-to-day job, I need to like do advocacy for my clients, like everyone that had like issue and like facing discrimination. So of course, like yeah, as a settlement worker, I face I come with a lots of clients, so it's part of my job to do advocacy. Thank you.
Excellent. Why not a clap for Marishna?
Anyone else want to share? Robert? Yeah.
Yeah, so similarly, so I think for myself, like I'm currently working as an employment specialist. And my role, like similar to like a settlement worker, we kind of support a lot of clients who are looking for work. And there's often a lot of barriers as to why they aren't looking for work. It could be they're facing homelessness or they're in poverty right now. And we're trying to like empower them and like uplift them so they're able to re-enter the workforce. So there's a lot of advocacy parts because there's a lot of unfortunately systemic issues as to why a lot of people cannot find work. And that also is another factor in terms of like employers and what their expectations are. So for myself, I do a lot of advocacy work in terms of advocating client, like advocating on the client's behalf and kind of uplifting them in terms of their abilities and making sure like they're able to re-enter the workforce regardless of the barriers that they have. And more recently, I've been like a huge advocate for like the youth employment program that we have at like the employment center that I work for, and it's more so providing opportunities for youth who, let's say, never been employed and like want to gain experience as well. So that's more so what my kind of advocacy has been recently.
Excellent. Anyone from online? I know Romanapa, you are doing a lot of advocacy. Amanda, anyone, Isra?
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Okay, so let's move forward then.
Thanks for sharing, Romia.
Excellent.
All right, so now that we've discussed what is advocacy, we're going to discuss what is people-centered advocacy. Advocacy, like we said, means amplifying voices, but the fundamental question that we have to ask is whose voice is being amplified and what's the purpose for that happening? Across the world, a large number of people are marginalized and they are unheard of in quarters of power. Advocacy is the work that we do to make sure that their voice is heard and amplified. It's more often perceived as a systematic process of influencing public policies. But we have to understand that policy alone cannot address deep-rooted societal inequalities and injustices. A people-centered approach emphasizes the importance of social transformation.
So far, the stories we have listened from you, um, are these advocacy work related to people-centered advocacy or something or anything else? Do- So the example, Ramaya, you shared, Prashna, you shared, are these people-centered advocacy?
Actually, I guess so. It depends sometimes because every client that we have like interaction discussion, every client has like their unique problem, their unique like issue. So that's why it's we call it like people centered approach.
Absolutely.
According to their own issue, because even if in our own like this room, people face discrimination is it's not that all of us face discrimination about one thing, right? So everyone has like different type of like intersectionality or different type of aspect that they face discrimination or any other issue. So what people-centered approach mean is like according to their own family, according to their own like issue, we need to advocate for them, not like yeah.
Excellent. I remember I attended this training back in 2004 in India, New Delhi, about people-centered advocacy conducted by John Samuel and our senior colleague, and I learned a lot. And from there, actually, I'm following this work in our community work as well. So, at the heart of our people-centered advocacy is about people who are impacted by different issues, barriers. So, our first attempt, our first goal is to work with them. So, this is something we are doing at PCS. We also engage with decision makers. We invite MPs, city councillors, other bureaucrats into our program and create the opportunity for the dialogue. And our youth, our leaders, community leaders are having dialogue with them. So this is something we are doing at BCS and network alliances. Like we also work with other social justice organization in our communities. And like Wood Green is one of them. I can name other partners like CASA, Council of Agencies Serving South Asian, and because we are addressing common issues and we need alliance and partnership in this kind of work. And of course, wider public is part of our work. So through our stories, publication in newspaper, through social media, and also connecting with other professionals, and we also bring them here, and so that we can collaborate, we can work together for positive for changing um, in policies, in programs, in services. At the same time, our goal is to bring changes in the attitudes of people. There are some misconceptions and there are some biases which are harmful for our community. So we do this advocacy work through our community education and Women Rise, and also the project Together in Racism project are actually built on those ideas.
There's some online people. Okay, we'll just check on.
Go ahead. Jim.
Right, so advocacy comes in many shapes and sizes, and we kind of discussed this when we had our discussion on ways that you guys advocate. The one that people often think about is big movements and collection action, big public demonstrations or campaigns to change laws. This can include movements like hashtag Black Lives Matters, hashtag Idle No More, hashtag Fridays for Future. These call for urgent climate action by governments. Small or independent acts is another type of advocacy. Can be small actions, just something like picking up rubbish on the street and encouraging your friends to do the same. It can also be more independent, such as research and providing health information to a community leader to help promote healthy lifestyles. It can be about communicating ideas, like writing a blog or sharing your experiences. To start advocacy, we also have to obviously identify the issue. Before we start any process, we have to start with ourselves and think a little bit about what you're doing and why you're doing it. So think about what you bring to the discussion and where you can be able to make a difference. You have to remember that advocacy is not always immediate, and sometimes your efforts do need to be long term.
Our two issues.
Yeah, so choosing your issue, no matter what your area of interest is, the most important thing is that you are passionate about your cause and that you are inspired and motivated to get deeply, deeply involved. Our issue in the TERT program is racism, and when we're discussing the Women Rise program, it's gender inequality. And it's also important to think about your current situation, but also the potential that the future has. You also have to understand your role when it comes to advocacy. There's a place for everyone. So everyone here in this room offers a unique set of skills and an ability that can help play a role in the process. As an effective advocate, you have to understand your strengths and your ability. It's also really crucial to understand areas that you might need to develop more and become better at. Advocacy is a constant process of learning and understanding. Some of the main roles involved in the advocacy process include research, speaking, writing, or even implementers. This is why teamwork is so important. You can start to form a team of people who collectively provide all the skills and the abilities needed to effectively achieve your advocacy goals. Some of these skills are strategic thinking, the ability to analyze systems, identify issues, and devise effective solutions, communication skills like writing, public speaking, and interpersonal communication to convey key messages to different audiences, collaboration and networking. It's really important to build an alliance with crucial stakeholders, policymakers, and other community leaders. Research and analysis, understanding the policy frameworks and collecting data to support advocacy. And lastly, leadership and persuasion, influencing decision makers and mobilizing communities for change.
Now, Dijan, if we ask you for advocacy, what are the skills you have that you can utilize in this campaign?
So I have many skills, but the skills that I want to show the best in the church campaign or even in the Women Rise is the skill of leadership. Gathering people together to make collective change, understanding the problems and making proper actions so that we can help the community.
And why not you are sharing your public speaking skill? You are a great public speaking professional, I would say.
I may be able to speak about many things, but I can't speak about people's personal problems without putting words into their mouths or even misconstruing their problems. I want to be a leader that I can hear people, that I can help them, and maybe use public speaking as a secondary skill to make change in the community.
Excellent. Why don't you clap for Jan and
All right, so we're going to talk about getting started. The first step within the advocacy process is to gain deeper understanding about your issue or topic. The more you understand your topic and the issues surrounding it, the better equipped you are to take action against it. Research can be done through desktop research or through personal engagement. Each is different and it adds an important dynamic to your understanding on the issues. This is kind of tying into that qualitative and quantitative information. This research also will help you find out more about the history and background of your topic, as well as the social and political context that exists.
apart from racism or gender inequalities, is there any other issue that you are thinking to advocate? You want to join movement, rallies, community education? Apart from these two issues, any other issue you are passionate about? I was listening. Yes.
I actually have one. I don't know, some of you guys are probably familiar with what's going on with Canada Post. A lot of people are really annoyed and angry, like, oh, I haven't gotten my package. I have a credit card in the mail and it's been weeks and I haven't gotten it. But I'm not mad because I support their right to advocate for what they want. And yeah, Clapping for myself. But no, and that's just a small part of advocacy. And I think that being an ally to those groups is really important too, because they're trying to amplify their voice, and there's some people that aren't really supporting them because they have their own motives. And yeah, that's just one example. So does anyone else have another one?
Anything else? Anyone passionate about food insecurity in Toronto? What is happening?
I can go one more. I'm extremely passionate about helping the homeless. I'm uncertain about current programs or policies that are in place to really help or even stop helping the homeless. But if I can learn more about it, I'd be extremely grateful.
Excellent. Over to answer then. Any other community member, leaders would like to share anything you're passionate about?
I can share quickly. For me, it's like women's health. I think women's health is something that's unfortunately within the medical system that we're in is not taken as seriously. So I think like women's health, especially like seeing the challenges of what like Black women and racialized women go through in terms of navigating the system and getting the proper like healthcare and getting, specialist visits and special special procedures is I think important. And it's all often I'd say like overlooked as well. You find there's a lot of women who experience a lot of like serious issues later on or like unfortunately death because often these symptoms are overlooked earlier on. So I think more advocacy on women's health as well and more research as well. It could be also like providing more funding for women's research and like that's what I think.
So you can ask our online community. Please share anything you are thinking about other than all these issues discussed so far. Amanda, Ifat, any issue you are thinking?
Oh,
Yeah.
wait 1 second. For them for online, you can go.
My advocacy for the diffusing claimant families who are not eligible for child benefit. So is for like a bigger issue, broader aspect is for the immigration and citizenship Canada to allow them to get their child benefit. So this is my like voice now.
Excellent.
Yes.
Thank you. What I'm passionate about and like to advocate for is I was learning about in school. A lot of indigenous reserves they don't have clean water, and I like to advocate about that because I think water is a human right, clean water. They don't have clean water, and I think it's a human right, and I would like to I want to advocate for that.
That's why. Excellent. From our online community, any issue
I think
that you are passionate about?
So we have religious persecution from Rita Ahmed. For example, Bill 41, where people were not allowed to wear their religious items like turbans or hijabs. Wow. Yeah.
She said Bill 21, yeah.
Okay, Bill 21, yes. Anyone else?
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
So it's just someone waiting to come.
Yeah, I admitted.
Oh, you admitted.
Yes.
Okay.
All right, so by now you should have gathered a lot of information and you have to start putting it all together into a plan. This plan can help you decide what you need to focus on, who to work with, how to work with them, and how to monitor your progress. I think Ramya's was a good example of this because she has an issue and it's that women's health is ignored and it's very specific. She kind of talked about some of the factors like that racialized women might have a different experience, and I think that was really interesting. You also have to develop your plan. Your research has probably given you a lot of food for thought and an appetite for action. As you begin to identify actions you can take to help bring change, you can start developing a plan for your advocacy. Your advocacy plan should have some of these key elements, which are goals, actions, key activities, progress markers, responsible peoples and groups, and milestones.
Excellent. For example, for our third project, what are the actions we are taking to achieve our goal? That is to end racism. This is a huge goal, but what are the actions we are taking together to address this issue at least?
I think maybe a lot of people here are new members, so they may not be familiar, but something that the old cohort did is that they developed their own modules on some of their own experiences with racism. They also discussed some definitions, like words like biases, words that terminology that not everyone might be familiar with. And they engaged 30 community members. And by spreading that knowledge, we can reach more people and hopefully with re-education, help people discover these terms and have a better understanding and grasp on racism.
Thank you, Hansa, for sharing that. And we have also planned in February that we are going to meet our MPP, Dolly Begum, perhaps with other colleagues at Queen's Park, and our top members together in racism and human rights campaign members will be joining us to have dialogue within the space of Queen's Park, that is the provincial parliament. So why not a huge clap for BCS?
Right, engaging with policy. So there's a beautiful photo here from another church event that we had engaging with an MP member. Remembering that youth-focused policies are imperative to realizing a sustainable future. And we have to equip ourselves with skills so that we can engage with these policies. Engaging with policy can seem very intimidating as a youth or as a woman advocate, but it is really important that you not only try to connect to your issue, to the policy, but that you also engage within the policy process. Making comments on a policy can be scary, but you as a young person have a voice and you should be allowed to engage with any policy that does affect your life.
In the picture, you can see that I'm Pipi Dolly Begum. She's listening to our youth leaders, and she will be having further conversation with our committee members in our upcoming events.
So part of this is also attending conferences and meetings with decision makers. Conferences and meetings are the perfect space for you to meet with various actors to discuss what you have researched about your issues and share your own advocacy plans. Attending conferences also allows you to develop networks with other young people, organizations, and sectors. These people are your allies. Many people may feel like these spaces are closed off and not welcome to them, but the truth is that these events are happening around you all the time and you do have access to them.
It was my pleasure to attend this event. You can see my selfie. Can you see my selfie? Why not clap? Yeah. Um, and I had the opportunity to meet our mayor, Olivia Chow, and also the author of People, Power, and Change. Actually, their book we are going to use in our community engagement and community organizing modules. And it was my great pleasure to attend, listen from them, and also bring this knowledge for you.
Thank you. All right, so next we're going to talk about building momentum. Throughout your advocacy process, you need to build momentum continuously because we have to draw people together to support your cause. The first stage of building any kind of momentum for an idea is to raise awareness about the importance of your cause and why action needs to be taken. Awareness raising activities can be anything from a class discussion to a national campaign. So for TERT, something like building momentum would be our community dialogues where we bring concerns and we discuss them, bringing awareness to them. Organizing events is a great way to share information, network, and develop new ideas to support your advocacy process. There are a few important things that we do have to keep in mind when organizing an event, like its purpose and its objectives, the size of it, who to invite, what to do during the event, logistics, and the promotion of the event. Part of this is engaging with media. So anywhere you live, people will use media as a form to communicate with each other. It can range from anything like a school newsletter to a local newspaper, radio station, or TV programs. Think about what opportunities there are to engage local media in support to your issue. A big one is social media. So social media is a powerful platform where you can communicate ideas and raise awareness. You can join in on existing conversations and movements, or you can create your own dialogue and set the narrative on your own, in line with the principles that you are standing for within your advocacy.
So this is our YouTube video on anti-racism and how we can raise community awareness. Okay, so before we move to our next agenda, that is community organizing, is there any question about advocacy and how we are doing at BCS? And is there anything we can do, especially to mobilize our community, to engage our community in dialogue with policymakers, employers? Other than that, anything before we move to our next agenda?
Anyone from online have any questions? It looks like we're good in person.
So before that, can we all clap for Hamza for sharing all this?
Thank you.
Apa, Hans?
Wonderful conversation. Thank you. My question is, for advocacy, I know that you have, I mean, what you are advocating for, you have to educate yourself. So you know the strategies. So my question is how BCAs or through these workshops, how you are educating these young men and who are helping and advocating for end racism in Toronto.
Urvi, over to you. How we are doing
How are we educating the young
women
men?
and youth?
So the way we're educating to start off is relaying the importance of self-advocacy. So which I'll go into a bit more during my presentation, but what the overview here today was with the community organizing presentation was how community can come together. So one thing that's very important that because we focus on youth members in the community a lot and then also intergenerational aspects, but it's really just understanding your self-worth, understanding yourself in relation to your community. And yeah, that's where our education really starts in these programs. Hope that answers your question.
So for both campaign, as we discussed that we are going to engage a dialogue with our policymakers and employers as well, especially for our women rights project. Dr. Nasima is not here today. Hopefully she'll share more. And we have some strategies how we are going to engage employers, especially to raise awareness on and also advocate for more inclusion of immigrants and newcomer women in job that they are passionate about and in their relevant fields. So this is one of them. And for TART, our youth who were part of our different workshops, they also organized different workshops virtually or in person to have dialogue with their friends, family members, community members to discuss about racism and anti-racism strategies based on their experiences. Any other question? Yes.
Just to supplement these questions. So even before the youth everybody had to implement a project, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So they learn from implementing any kind of social or community engaged project, and obviously the project focus was anti-discrimination. So it's not like that how they're teaching. Also, we said the teaching, like the theories and other things, the BCS teaching them how to implement the teaching as well. So since like 2000, BCS always trying to no smoking advocacy, anti-racism advocacy, and multicultural advocacy. So all this advocacy is more likely action based. So we do the event, we show the ideas, and we try to engage people to see how it works, and they can learn from that and they can initiate from that. I believe any small action is better than a big giant kind of book. So that's how BCS engaging in a teaching people or implementing the teaching as well. Thank you.
Our online folks. Anyone would like to ask a question about advocacy, how they want to see our work in future? Hansa?
Yeah, do any of you guys want to share anything related to
Varishna.
I just need to ask something. So
So as a leader here, BCS always provide us with the resource and service to do like our job and raise awareness. So that's a big help from BCS. So they give us like the education, how to do like workshop, and also like the other service and resources to do the workshop. So it's a big, like a very big help because like most of the youth and people like have the passion to do that, but they don't have that with other like leaders, other like mentors to help them in this aspect. Yeah, okay. Thank you so much.
So in this regard, Barishta shared very important element as well. Resilient Youth for Change, we had a project and where we had a series of workshop on project management, financial literacy, social entrepreneurship, community organizing, and the youth, they created their own project based on the issue, their community issue, and they created and implemented their project. And that was amazing to see that within short time, like 3 months, they have done all this great work. And as a part of this project trend, we are doing it, and through Human Rights, we are going to do it. So, in conclusion, we would like to say that BCS is involved and engaged in people-centered advocacy. This is not something that we are doing a policy research and advocating through different seminars. It's more about community education, and dialogue with policymakers, and through that, we want to amplify the community voice. And as a result, we can see our member of parliament, MPPs, city councillors are actually addressing various issues related to us, like related to housing issue, related to food insecurity, related to accessing the services by the youth. So this is something is very successful so far through this dialogue. Actually, we are achieving. Any folks from online, would you like to add before we go to our next agenda that would be presented by Dijan?
If nobody is going to ask any questions, I am going to continue. Let me just get some technical things here finished.
Is this paused or just recording? Okay. But
So that's fine now. Okay, you
maybe
can
it
continue,
didn't
Ulvi.
stop. No, I didn't stop it. Kevin, no, you don't have
Okay.
to stop.
Okay, so slide.
Yes. Hello, everyone. So thank you, Hansa and Dr. Hasan, for adding on to not only an amazing presentation, but a session of learning. I not only want to thank them, but I want to thank you, our audience, for continuing to be vigilant, to be learning, and to be engaging with this process. So for me, I'm going to be presenting a workshop on community organizing and engagement. The agenda would include community organizing, namely the journey of a community organizer, using the Snowflake model for organizing and the organizing sentence, community engagement as a spectrum of public participation, and community outreach, the steps and methods for community outreach. So there are some various definitions of community, and I like to put them at the beginning. Community can be defined by geography, identity, interest, or any integration of the three. Communities can be physically constructed as members of a neighborhood, municipality, or other geographic region, and collection of people connected through shared identities, interests, and experiences. One such example would be the BCS community. This can be a collection of ethnicity, religion, ideology, gender, sexual orientation, educational or professional background, common experiences of particular events. So here's a diagram of examples of a community. This can be very helpful not only to understand other people's community, but your own. I'd like to introduce my own communities in this using this diagram. Looking at the age, you can tell that I am somewhat of a youth. And as in terms of education, with how I met and engaged with the TERT educational campaign was through Centennial College's SSW program. So here's a discussion question I want to ask you. To address racism and gender inequalities in your community, who are some people, some key figures, some key stakeholders, people that you want to engage with that can help you in addressing this problem?
Who are your target audience? You are a leader, you are going to your community, and with whom you are going to engage with dialogue initially to provide them information, support, or having some dialogue on some issues for TART project? Who would be your focus? People from racialized background, perhaps who are experiencing barriers, racism, discriminations. And for Women Rights Project, who are you going to reach out to share, impart your knowledge? Ramaya?
I think for my community in itself, it would definitely be what Dr. Hassan said, like racialized individuals. I guess like for us, because we're focusing on gender inequalities, like women, especially women who just immigrated to Canada and are facing specific barriers related to like employment, poverty, or just building a community in Canada. Um, so like more so me first going and like connecting with community members, so people within the community who are actually experiencing like those barriers. But I'll also be wanting to connect with MPs and politicians. I think those are the individuals who their role is to advocate for that specific community they are part of. And they're the ones who are able to also make that change in terms of policy and like programming as well. So going with them would also be something I would want to connect with. I'm just thinking as well, it could be also like different organizations, like nonprofit organizations that focus mainly on women and women advocacy as well. It could be even like community and youth organizations within the city of Toronto that could provide their perspective as well. So that's what I'm thinking about right now.
Excellent. Excellent. To be inclusive, our online community, would you like to share, Amanda? Would you like to share who would you like to reach out for your advocacy work, people-centered advocacy work, and with whom you are going to engage in community work? Amanda, Isra, anyone? It seems they're
That says newcomer.
newcomer women, it was said. Anything else? Okay, you can keep continue typing, and by this time, over to Dijan. There is a comment.
Another one is my community could be people who are from a variety of age groups so they can share their different experiences to each other. Wow, very
Excellent.
powerful. So I would like to say that is there anybody else that would like to share? I'll give you 5 seconds. Okay, so as you can see, we did a discussion here, and I'm going to move on. Or we can go back to the discussion. So the criteria of individuals who you would want to involve in your community work, we can see can be from all the way from the political ends of things, the higher ups, all the way to the more the grassroots levels, the individuals in our communities, newcomer women's, marginalized people, and also professional networks like nonprofits and other organizations.
Excellent.
So community organizing refers to bringing community members together and providing them with the tools to help themselves or work towards common interests. It requires determination, perseverance, a clear plan with goals, reliability, follow through, and a willingness to compromise. Community work and campaign starts with community organizing. As community workers, we reach out to the community in good and challenging times, both of them. And we start listening with the community and acting together to strengthen relationships among its residents and its members. We work together with the community to address their needs.
Here is very important point. Dijan mentioned that community organizing is just not bringing people together. For example, we are a community, we are here, but at BCS, what we are going to do, we are going to share you some tools and process and knowledge that you can actually create for yourself, share with your peers, and you can have some resources to engage with your community members and also engage them with larger conversation and dialogue with policymakers.
Yes. So here's a video that we can watch
Later, we can.
later.
Great, yeah.
And I want to show you this picture here, the journey of an organizer in a community. As you can see, it goes from a low income area, but but a person with a powerful and authoritative vision. They want to see their community at the end a thriving city. And you can see that they go from a low income downbeat area through storytelling to create relationships, strategizing and structuring to finally create action where they fix and heal their community.
So, as Dizan said, you can pretend yourself is here. Perhaps you are working in a neighborhood, your community, they may have some housing issue. This is just a symbolic one issue. And how we can start your work, storytelling, that you are part of the neighborhood, you experience that, how it is impacting, uh, how the housing system impacting you, and you share this story with others who are experiencing similar things. So they feel connected, they feel coming together and build the relationship. Building relationship is very important in our policy, in our people-centered advocacy work, and we together make strategies. It's not easy to bring community people together, but we have the effort. We'll discuss about that. Dijan will be sharing very soon. And we collectively plan, collaboratively plan the goal, what we want to achieve, how we are going to achieve that, what are the tasks and actions and tactics we can take. Some tactics could be like how we can educate ourselves on different issues, how we can have dialogue with policymakers. So these are some tactics we can actually identify through the strategy, and we structure our team. For example, today you can see some great organizers. Urvi is doing some work, Hansha is doing another focus, and Dijan is presenting here. And as a facilitator, I'm also working with you all, and you are actively participating. This is very important that, and we can take, someone can take leadership for different roles. And by taking action, we can solve the problem. For example, the housing issue, poor housing condition, that is solved. And after addressing one issue, we can move to our next issue or agenda.
Mm. So I'm going to next talk about how community organizing works. A community worker engages with residents by telling stories about community issues and building relationships with other residents who experience the same issue. In this case, we face gender inequalities or discrimination because of our skin color or ethnicity. The community worker develops a strategy that includes a vision, actions, and resources needed to address the problem. After the planning stage, the community worker will structure the team with specific roles and responsibility, which I see Hasan doing very much and very well.
Why not clap for Hassan?
Yes.
No, actually, it is Zhang.
So there are some key actors that we need to identify for community organizing. Community organizing begins with stakeholder analysis and identification of actors. Who is out there that we should know about? When developing an organizing strategy, there are 5 main groups to consider: the constituency or the core participants, leaders, supporters, competitors, and opposition. Core participants include people that would be partaking in your programs or services, maybe passively, while leaders are those who are more active, also including supporters. Competitors are different from opposition in that competitors are those who provide similar services, while opposition work against your services.
Just to add with Dijan, the core participants actually the people who are impacted by the issue. For example, racism, and they are the core participant. They are going to share their story, and we cannot be sharing a session that how we can actually write our story, amplify our voice, and communicate with wider community. So core participants have a huge role in people-centered advocacy, and some leaders, our MPP councillors, our Bilki Sapa is here, is our community leader. So they are also guiding us in our work. Supporters, they may not come directly here, but they can share their solidarity, share their resources, so that we can be successful in our advocacy work. Yes, there are some competitors, and there are always opposition in any advocacy work.
Thank you, Dr. Hasan. And as Dr. Hasan has also mentioned in meeting Olivia Chow, from her book, which is made to influence community change, she suggests some best practices for recruiting and retaining people. That includes being open and enthusiastic, always following up, always scheduling for the next time that you're going to interact with them or make an appointment, confirming commitments, planning for no-shows, and designing actions well. One thing to note that for planning for no-shows, if you want four people to show up, expect to call 8 people to come in.
Excellent, excellent idea. And this is something that you'll be doing, you are doing. Sometimes you invited your friends, like we are expecting around 40 people today, and it's like about 25. And it's not easy to organize people. Everyone has their priorities in person, especially for in person. They have some other emergencies. And so we need to be very enthusiastic. We need to understand their perspective and we need to follow up. And that's why, thanks to Ulvi Khan for organizing this hybrid workshop so that our community members, our leaders can join from their home. Yes.
Thank you. So here I'm going to show you the snowflake model. This would be centered around a core organizer and a number of different branches that you could go off into. Some would include campaign advocacy, fundraising, social media campaigns, and also direct outreach. From the core person and to these other people that they'll be working with, they'll be organizing a number of different volunteers.
Actually, this model used in 2008 during Barack Obama's election, first election in the USA, and it was very successful. That how an organizer actually can involve other leaders, volunteers, and take different roles, and especially in community advocacy, in people-centered advocacy work, we need to invest time for not only just organizing event. We have to also organize like for our refreshment and for our social media, for our direct outreach. Hasan would be is doing amazingly, calling you, reaching out to you, sending you email. So these are all the work like at DCS we are working, and I'm sure that you are also using this kind of model for your leadership and advocacy work.
So the organizing sentence, the next for planning a campaign, is a tool to clarify the important components of your strategy and organizing plan. Every team in a campaign, including the core leadership team and local leadership teams, should write an organizing sentence unique to their team. Or put it another way, and this is how you'll write it: we are organizing, insert your people name, to the strategic goal through your number of tactics and by a timeline. Some examples include for the Turks campaign, we are organizing 100 youth to address racism in the education system through community education, a social media campaign, dialogue with institutions, and advocacy with MPPs by February 20th, 2025.
Second one, Hamza.
Also in the Women Rise program, we are organizing 200 women to address gender inequalities in employment through community education, dialogue with employers, and advocacy with policymakers. And the goal is to have that done by February 20th, 2026.
So, what are the key elements you can see? Can you see some of the relationship? Who are we working? Who are we working with or organizing? Is there any strategic goal? Is there any time frame in the statements? Anything anyone would like to reflect? Are you able to see all these are in this statement are clear, and why this kind of statement are very important? When you are inviting someone, you need to tell them like within 30 seconds what you are going to do. So if you are not clear about your goal and your agenda for a people-centered advocacy, they might lose their interest. So like 30-second pitch that how you can give them the message. So anyone would like to argue with this kind of message, or whether it could be more specific? Anyone? This is all right. Why not a clap for the Jan then?
I found this out. So community engagement is the most crucial step in participatory community development practice. It is the step of actively working with the community to identify and address local ideas, concerns, and opportunities. Community engagements allows community workers to involve the public in processes that affect them and their community.
Community organizing and community engagement sounds very similar, but one is about organizing, bringing people together, giving them tools, and community engagement is something beyond. Continuously maintaining the relationship, engage them in your work and plan together. So this is something very important and collaborate and empower our community groups. This is something more about engagement.
And here's a video that we may watch at the end.
We'll
So,
send you the slides to you all. You can watch these videos at your suitable time.
so I'm going to ask you a question and I will answer it myself. Why community engagement? Community engagement increases collaboration, partnership, and community cohesion for their well-being. It can involve informing citizens or community members about your initiative, inviting their input and ideas, and collaborating with them to generate solutions to community issues, allowing you to partner with the community from the beginning to tackle community issues together.
Excellent.
And here is a very special and important diagram that you can use yourself, and that is the spectrum of public participation. It goes from informing all the way to empowerment, including steps that are consultation, involving, and collaborating. So I want to ask you, the audience, online and in person, do you see BCS following the spectrum of public participation in the TERT and Women Rise campaigns?
Marishna, do you see the connection, the work we are doing with this spectrum of engagement? Did you inform by BCS when you first joined BCS? How do you come to know about our Resilient Youth for Change project and how you participated and how you are doing all this leadership work at BCS?
Thank you. So, first of all, like I was informed through school for the Resilient Youth for Change. So it's really about like passion, that you have passion, and also for the Women Rights Project, I had like an interview and discussion with Herbie. So we share like my passion and also how I'm passionate about this work. So this is also it's a so community organizing and community engagement is also about like a strength-based approach. Like we are as a community member, as a leader, every one of us has a strength. So that's why we all come together and use our strength to bring the changes. So that's why through community engagement also we can bring passive ally to like active ally, because like some of people, like some of community member, they don't have like any idea. Like they are just passive, like not willing to work with you or not willing to be in our opposite side. So if you like engaging them and have a conversation with them, so you can really tell them about how important this issue is. So that's when they come or and become an ally and we can work together.
Excellent. Why don't you let go Marishna? And do you think, finally, I would like to ask again, Marishna, do you think through our last campaign, Resilient Youth for Change, did you feel that you were empowered, like you are doing your own project, you are planning and executing, you are the boss?
So yeah, it's really important to raise our voice, as we mentioned. So the people that we organize workshop and the community member, they all had like their issue about like discrimination, like gender based or like racial, because of like racism. So they shared our voices and we like discuss, and that's why we had at the end we had the report to share like what was their issue, how we can solve, and we had like our MP and from government
Bureaucrats.
yeah. So we also like amplify their voice to them to see like this community member or this youth group has this issue, how you're gonna solve this problem, how you're gonna like take an action. So for me, like I was the person like a leader to like bring their voice, and we worked together with that community, and they had the chance to share that experience with other people, their family member, and they are really connected because when they were talking, they were, oh yeah, I also like face this problem. So it was really powerful and really
and you designed your own project and you implemented that. Am I right?
So even from the starting from the outreach and who are interested in this workshop and how we can solve this problem together. So yeah, so they all we like take all of their idea to like implement in this project. And we also had like each step how to do another workshop, how to bring them together. Yeah.
I think, James, about TART, you have done some work with your community. Am I right? Can you share your experience and how you see in this spectrum? You first inform about this campaign, campaign. You were part of some consultation. You engaged in some planning with BCS team and your fellow committee members. You collaborated and you did your own project. Can you share a little bit about your experience?
Yeah, well, I was informed by you, like from Dima, and then I guess through consulting it was like with us all, and you were telling us about the project, and then we involved ourselves by, I guess, creating the project. And then through collaboration, we reached out to other community members. Like for mine, I reached out to my friends and my parents. So I guess
Excellent.
my what's it called? Like the community group was
Yeah.
youth and
you did this work independently.
yeah.
Yes, excellent. So this is about empowerment. We are talking about that we are going to share some resources, some knowledge here through collaboration, and you are doing your job as a leader. So why not a clap for Barishna and James? Excellent. So you can see this in BCS, we are trying to promote leadership.
So for community outreach, as a part of community outreach, social and community development workers provide information to individuals, families, groups, and the community to connect clients/community members with services and supports to help them in designing the services and community initiatives. So that is not supports, that is consultation, excuse me. So the goal of outreach is to inform, consult, and get involved. Outreach can be done for promotion, education, research, information, connection, or services. The purpose of outreach is to get community members more involved in what is happening in their community, which I can see you guys doing very effectively. So inspiring.
So you can see some key terms like community organizing, engagement, and community outreach. So these are very interrelated. But there are some specific tools and process involved. And we are involved when we are working with community members. We are involved in a lot of outreach work. Bilkis, would you like to share some of your outreach work?
Outreach is like when we work with people, it's word to mouth, it's spread to like what ID to my clients is spread to their community, and then they bring their lots of clients to me, and we have internal referral within the organization, and also we have the external outreach, like whatever we do. So we work to the community and then reach the other organization. Then we promote our services, whatever we do.
Excellent.
So
Excellent. So this is a great collaboration that we are
yeah,
involved.
and there's other option on social media, and we do also like promotion.
Excellent. So in outreach, it's not just we can do alone. We can rely on partnership, collaboration with other organizations, and your friends, your family members, your teachers could be part of for this process.
And here are the steps in community outreach. First, you want to define why you're doing this. What is the problem? How does it inspire you to help yourself or help your family, help your friends? So you need to ask next, who will you need to reach out specifically to help you in this project? Next, you need to understand the why, the who, and your resources so that you can properly plan and do your project. That is the next step. Plan and do outreach. And if those things don't work out, if you're finding that people are not coming to your meetings, not coming to your information sessions, you need to evaluate what dwell in that still, and what are the next steps so that you can go forward to pursue the best of your project. So here are some methods of community outreaches. And the first one would be posting and emailing flyers throughout the community, which could be through libraries, community centers, agencies, and businesses. Developing an email network and sending information through your contact list, which I was a part of. Calling residents, which some of you may have been a part of also. Using websites and social medias like Facebook, Twitter, and blogs. Speaking to people in the community, informally in public spaces or at community events, talking with your community members so that you can strike a conversation, so that you can make real changes at the grassroots level. Attending events to network and promote activities, sending information through other networks and partnering for outreach and using media to promote events. This could be like inviting local newspapers to cover large or important events. And I believe this would be the last.
This is our third flyer that we have created for engaging our youth community. This is from BCS, another flyer to invite our leaders, especially women leaders, to join our campaign. Just an example. So this is something today we have a plan to share, and again, we would like to highlight on the message, the quote, be the change that you want to see. And it's very important. And I would like to congratulate Dijan, Hansa, my fellow colleagues from TMU and Centennial College for your wonderful presentation. And now we have 5 minutes to discuss whether you have any question about community organizing, engagement, and outreach, and any ideas you want to share. Our online community members, please join us. And then we are going to have another session for 20 minutes with Urbi Khan and some little exercise. And of course, there are still some food and drinks are here. Those who are in person, please enjoy. So next 5 minutes, we would like to request you online, in person, any question, how these sessions are, whether it is helpful for you, and any question that we can collaboratively answer. In-person community, anything? Was this session useful? Anyone would like to share who hasn't shared yet? Any community member? Yes. Nice.
I think what we're talking about earlier, about, I forgot what it's called, but the 5-step plan form. And I think that's really good because BCS has helped me more about this topic. And my sister, she helped get me into this.
Wow. Great outfit. Excellent job. Yes, excellent. Thank you so much for joining us. And is this session helpful, like to become a community leader? 100%. Yes. Thank you, Hamsha, for engaging your little brother. Any other feedback from our new participants? Anyone from the back? Hamsha, please ask, and before we conclude, we have 5 more minutes, 3 more minutes.
Oh yeah, this session I learned a lot about how to get involved in the community and like what Ter and Women Ride are doing, and I like yeah how I'm involved in Ter and how it's gonna help the community and stuff. So yeah, this session was really good.
Excellent. So I would like to ask a question. Yes, please go ahead.
So I will make my voice is so louder, yeah. So thank you so much. And organizers Dr. Hasan and Hasan, other participants. This is a great combination of like chart and human rights. I love this idea.
Excellent.
Yes.
Yes, there is more.
I really like this session because like this is my first time in TERT and I really like how like I got to learn more about TERT, what it stands for, and like overall I got better understanding and I would love to come to more meetings.
Amazing.
Excellent commitment that you would like to engage with us in future events. Shreya, how are you doing after a long time? Anything this session is useful so far? Amanda, any new knowledge? Hamza and Dijan shared.
Ifat says yes, the session was very informative and useful. Shreya says good. Sorry, her Wi-Fi is spotty. What else? Amanda says thank you for a wonderful, informative session.
Yes. And anyone else would like to speak from on behalf of the online community? At least one, our colleague should join us. Okay. Noura is there. Noura Ahmed, please join us. You conclude, Noura.
No, you can unmute.
Noura, are you there? Okay. Okay, great. Thank you so much, everyone, for listening.